Marcus, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How y'all doing?
We great, man. What's up with you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. So obviously, the market took a major hit. I know for like a lot of y'all, it was like Black Friday sale. For me, it was Red Rum, only because I realized that I've been pretty decent at growing my account, right? But I didn't know how to properly secure my bag, and I want to ask all three of y'all, what is your strategy when a market takes a hit like it did yesterday? Because I took a major hit for me, at least. Chump change for probably a lot of people, but I was very proud of what I grew, and then it just took a hit.
I guess I'll start. So like my strategy is have a strategy first, right? And so when I see a day like Thursday and Friday, I just stick to my plan. Because I know, like, even when we put out these calls, we make them for long term, right? 2 years for every call that we do. We don't like to do short term ones. So even when we place a call, we add a correction into the pricing for our target price. So just stick to the script, man. A lot of people are gonna say, "Yo, it's a sale," and I almost got caught into it. I was like, "Yo, it's a red day. Let me go get some more." But I already wrote down in my plan what my next target date was to make investments. So I got to stick to that script.
And then Troy, when they called me, they called me on Tuesday.
Yep.
Tuesday was on fire. And then what they say when they called me, they was like, "How you feel?" What did I say?
Paranoid.
I said I felt paranoid because I feel like I just kind of felt like the market. I felt stocks was overinflated. I felt tech was definitely overinflated. I just felt like, it's just common sense, right? Like when something's at an all-time high, it's usually down from there. And it was crazy that the next day it went down. So in hindsight, me personally, of course, I would have liked to get out of my positions, wait, get back into the lower price. It's kind of hard to do that. The easiest thing to do is just to sell. But to wait. But like you learn a lot from everything. And I remember we was in crypto and they were saying like, when crypto went down, the whales, what they call them, like there's only like a few people that hold the majority of Bitcoins in the world. And no matter what the market did, they never lost money because they sold their Bitcoins when it went down, and then they got back in at the right time. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard to predict that. But, if you do, we have some technical issues right now. But next week, if we can do charts and we can show like Bollinger Band and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And because Ian actually said it to us. He was like, "Yo, if y'all was looking at the Bollinger Bands, you would have been able to actually predict that this was going to happen." So it's never a bad idea to take profit. Yeah. That's how I look at it. Like, hindsight is always 20/20. But if you up 100%, 80%, 300, 400%, nobody's going to be mad if you walk away with a profit, wait for things to settle out, and then get back in later, as opposed to just waiting and then it goes back down. Over the course of time, you'll make more money. But I say that to say it depends on your strategy. But if you up a nice percentage, whatever that percentage is, it's never a bad idea to take money. You can never lose money that you didn't make yet.
Yeah, and Ian, I'm gonna let you cap this thing out, but that was part of the conversation we had. Like I called Ian, I'm like, "Yo, you did say it." I kind of fell asleep at the wheel. Like, why was I not watching my Bollinger Bands? Why was I not? I was paying attention to the VIX, but I wasn't watching as closely as I should have. Yeah. And one of the things we were like, "Yo, we should sell it. We're gonna sell." But then we thought like, "Yo, we got this class coming up on taxes. Like, what's that gonna look like as far as taxes, right? Because that's short-term capital gains on the sales of those calls." So it was like, "Yo, we got to take all those things into account." And so I'm saying that so that everybody in this chat right now on YouTube and all our earners think about all those things, right? Because that's gonna be a hefty tax bill if your gains are pretty high.
Yeah, Ian, what's your thoughts on that?
On the long-term trading side, it's going to be controversial, but it'll save you from a lot of danger. Your long-term, if you drop hard 5% in one day, you should consider selling if it's money that you need right away. Because the thing that I can realize and recognize in your voice, maybe that was a hit you couldn't afford to take. So long-term, 5%, if you have a drop, think about liquidating. On a day trading or short-term side, for my trade, especially if you're on the future side, you don't want to risk more than 1.6% of your account. Because then that way you don't even have to be able to trade well. When you are risking 20% of your account, it's only going to take you 5 trades to be in danger, and maybe 4 if you overtrade and you let it run and some danger can happen. So that's one of the things I want to talk about tonight. But for those of you that use RSI, look how high RSI was. For those of you that use price channels or Keltner channels, the bands, look how high we were, and we were pushing through resistance. this isn't a big drop, but because the market had been going up so much, it felt like the roller coaster ride down to hell. That actually wasn't that bad. But yeah, I would tell you in every trade, know what percentages you're going to get out if you're getting beat up. And that way you can think about it from a logical standpoint and not necessarily an emotional one.
Got you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Marcus.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thank you for that testimonial. Shout out to that testimonial the other day, man. That was incredible, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. 3,000. They can't stop. You. They can't stop us. No matter what happens, we're gonna go with what we got. I remember, I never forget my brother. Shout out to Haas. He used to coach. He still does coach, and he had a crazy powerhouse team. Remember, he had a bunch of kids that was like D1 prospects, and they made it to the playoffs in the summer league a few years ago. And like one kid couldn't make it. He was in down south, and like 4 of the kids. So I remember like somebody asked like, "Yo, what you gonna do?" He's like, "We're gonna go with what we got. We're gonna go with what we got, man." That's something I never forgot. No matter what, any technical difficulties we have,
we running
a holiday, a versus battle, we going to war with what we got, man. We're gonna go to war with what we got, and we're gonna make the best out of it, man. So
we got a new super chat.
Let me acknowledge super chats. Shout out to Black Panther on the super chat. Nothing wrong with hedging against your position. Yeah, we can talk about that as well. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. Jamal, $100 super chat. MT the Mortgage got $100 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Amir on the $50 super chat, and Susie on the super chat. Thank you. All right,
Ash, what's going on? You've been unmuted. Unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for providing value to the culture.
Appreciate you.
Just real quick, I had a question. Do you guys think this is a temporary correction, or do you think it's gonna? Because I have a call set for March of 2021. So that means I'll be out by December. So I want to know, do you guys think the market will be back up by then?
Can I take this real quick?
Yeah.
The first thing I want you to realize as a trader and investor, you have to have your analysis done before you put your money to the market. Because whenever I have money, I can only speak for me, but all my investors and traders can relate. Once I have a position in, I can't see clearly. So I was going to cover it tonight, but with the uncertainty, the pandemic that is wrecking us, homelessness, Rashad had the comment, which I think is legendary. My mom used to say it. Black people have always been in a recession. So that with Robinhood and the election and potentially if the mail manipulation, because I don't want to say fraud, manipulation happens, we may not have a president declared until December.
Yeah.
People do not like uncertainty when their money's in the market. This is why when I talk about leadership, and I don't think Obama was probably the best president ever, but one thing he did have down, which was A1, was his leadership ability to keep everybody calm. And that allows people to invest into the market. It's the same thing with hooping. You don't want a volatile player. So that December call is going to be a little bit rocky. November will be rocky. And I was going to touch on it, but ES needs to go to 3140 for Biden to have a chance to win. And if we have 2 more weeks of a pushback, we could get there. So for all my long-term investors, you are just going to have to ride this out. But if you went through March, April, and May, you already know what the outcome is going to be. You may have a two-month push and then go back up, but it's going to be rocky until at least January of next year.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.